I'm here today to introduce you to the brand new stock in the competition lineup of Manners Composite Stocks, the TCS MAX. Alright guys, the first thing to get on the table is this is not just a rebranded TCS, okay, not even close. If you have a TCS and that works for you, if you hunt with it and you do multiple things with it outside of just competition, this is probably not the stock you want, because that TCS is very adjustable, very tunable competition stock, obviously. You can take it, you can make it pretty lightweight. This TCS MAX was built with one thing in mind, the competitive shooter. This stock setup with this gun weighs 22 pounds. However, unlike a lot of other manufacturers in the competition game right now, they're not adding weight just to add weight. Quite the opposite, actually. They've added very targeted, specific weight. Where? Well, first off, as you can see, the balance point of my rifle. The balance point of most bare bone stocks comes about 8.5 to 9 inches behind the front of the mag well. The TCS MAX changed that. They moved the balance point 9.25 inches forward, so it's 1.25 inches just forward of the magazine well. Why? So that when you drop a barreled action into this stock, the balance point moves forward and your weight is now all over your bag. The thinking there is on barricade, you want that balance point as far forward as possible. Okay? You can see here what's happening. If I were to turn this toward the camera, you can see the balance point shifts, that if I put it in the traditional position of the mag, the gun goes forward. Why? Because the balance point and the weight is sitting over the top of the bag on the barricade. This is a really thin barricade, so it's a pretty extreme example. But on something like a tree log or you name it, barrel, what have you, that balance point's going to line up more like if I had it aligned here. And so again, that weight now is sitting right over the top of the most important part of what is happening in your rifle system, which is your bag and the recoil and recoil mitigation. They call it TCS MAX for a reason. They literally maxed out. They put everything on this they possibly could. First off, this TCS MAX was designed with balance and safety in mind. Not set up to be heavy simply for the sake of being heavy, but more with project goals and being engineered to a 21 to 23 pound PRS comp rig that you can have as good or better balance point as comparable 30 and 32 inch current chassis setups. A lot of guys are adding weight just to add weight. Manners didn't think that makes sense. I agree with them. So starting on the back and working our way forward, the buttstock system on this is actually a new proprietary material. It's actually lighter than the TCS, okay? The other thing they've done are the two pillars going into the adjustable buttstock are now aluminum. So again, lightened up here. They were very conscious about how they did this and what they did. You get the same grip setup and the same length, just in a lighter material. The other thing, all of these TCS MAXes will come with the micro chassis. Now, you think to yourself, why would they do that? Again, being very strategic, they're not just adding weight to add weight. They're cutting out weight from the traditional chassis into the micro chassis, so you get the same consistent, easy availability of being able to drop in your barreled action and rock and roll, but they do so in a manner in which they're being very weight conscious, so they actually cut weight in that particular area as well. This also accepts any DBM M5 bottom metal. As you can see here, I like to run the Hawkins Precision bottom metal. That's my bottom metal of choice, but anything with a standard M5 footprint will fit the TCS MAX. Manners set out to overcome the issue often associated with heavy competition rifle stocks. They were slow, cumbersome, unsafe, expensive aftermarket weights, weight loosening over time, etc. So they really built the TCS MAX from the ground up. They designed it forward, heavy from the ground up. utilizing proprietary textile fill media of a different weight and density to create a real dead in the hand feel, and so that when you're getting that recoil, you don't hear any of that ting, you don't feel any of that, and you're getting a very dead feel in your hands. And if you're a competition guy, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You want as little happening in the recoil process as possible. They've reinforced that with this particular TCS MAX. Lightweight but still deadening fill media in the rear that slowly blends its way into a heavier, more dense fore-end fill. Complementing an already internally installed weight system, the TCS MAX will come standard with the new micro chassis when combined with the new double dead shell and double dead fill. By design, they're able to lighten the rear of the stock and still maintain the over-engineered strength and full adjustment, length, comb, what have you, you'd expect from Manners. The rear adjustable butt system stainless posts have been swapped out with hard-coated aluminum to again lighten the rear of the stock very strategically. The balance points. The current TCS stocks average weight of about 5 pounds 10 ounces. The balance point is actually 8 inches behind the front edge of the magazine. The TCS MAX stocks average a weight of 8 pounds 14 ounces. And again, the balance point is 1.25 inches in front of the front edge of the mag. The difference in comparison, the new TCS MAX is 3 pounds 4 ounces heavier, but it's engineered with a balance point 9.25 inches farther forward than the standard configuration of the TCS. Compared to some of the other competitor competition stocks, you've got 12-pound plus stocks. Again, Manners really feel like they're just adding weight to add weight, and back to that cumbersome point, it's not really maneuverable. The TCS MAX saves you 3 pounds and 2 ounces versus other competitors, and the balance point is 2.5 inches further forward. It's very, very barreled action tolerant. So because they have a molded in weight in the forend, an actual brass 10-inch brass rail molded in and inlaid in the stock, it's very tolerable. You can do a lighter weight barrel contour or a much thicker barrel like the one I'm running here from CRB Barrels. The weight system they put in the TCS MAX has been tested and proven to give the shooter truly an optimized, properly weight distributed package. Brass bar is 10 inches and it's inlaid in the forend of the stock. The stock keeps the rifle buried in a bag and dramatically reduces felt recoil and any movement within the gun target line. It's designed to keep the center of gravity of the rifle in the bag during the recoil impulse. Again, the weight of the rifle is a competition-minded, strategically placed weight system within the stock and is as close to the center of bore as it possibly can be. The brass bar that's 10 inches is inlaid in the stock, and the recoil impulse weight is so close to the center of bore, it gives it a very soft recoil impulse. Weight is built into the forend under the bore of the rifle to run parallel and linear to the shooter's gun and target line, keeping the overall felt weight where it should be, crowding the barrel without getting wide like other competitors' aftermarket additional weight systems. The center of gravity is maintained where it's most important for the competitive shooter in mind, again, right over the bag. The full-length solid steel Arca rail, uniquely designed to be an additional backbone to the stock. It has only 2 forward pockets machined out for the use of our crutch weight at the sole discretion of the shooter. The weight would be used to really maximize the overall stock rifle setup and still keep the package weight where it should be. Tight to the barrel and centered, you will not have the floppiness, if you will, of an added width often complained about by users of the chassis and the bolts on weight packages that are seen out there in the marketplace. The Arca rail is actually smaller than the one they use on the TCS to again keep that center to bore closer together, to keep that recoil impulse back and dampened by this very strategic weight system. The same lightweight spacers utilized in the original TCS are used for both the comb and the overall length adjustment. It's got an infinite sizing positions for stature, style of shooter, what have you. A full-size barrel, extreme duty channel, and action inlet to support any and all aftermarket barrel action combos. It comes standard with a 1.35 barrel contour. So again, if you're running a really thick barrel like what I am here, this barrel was touching a lot of my other stocks. It is clear, crystal clear, good to go on this. Cut to really accept a large array of action and barrel contours. The TCS MAX comes with special marketing coloring Arca rail, the new patent pending micro chassis. The TCS MAX with all weights adds an additional 1 pound 14 ounces. The new stabilizer adds 1 pound 6 ounces, but again, does so in a manner that keeps everything tight to center of bore. So price point, a regular TCS runs $15.95. The new TCS MAX will be $17.99 and will come with an adjustable piece for your cheek weld. And really, again, it's called MAX for a reason, because they threw everything on it. So all the weight systems, all that, including fully loaded rails and a micro chassis. The only thing it doesn't come with is the bottom metal, but again, they've cut that to any M5 style bottom metal of your choosing. So if you have one already, you can slap that in there and go to work. No options are available on it because every option they have has been included, hence the name, MAX. If you're worried about this much weight inducing some sort of flex, the thing that I like most about TCS MAX is it has that 10-inch piece of brass inlaid actually in the stock itself. So when you add the Arca rail and you bolt that in, it's literally adding it to like a backbone, if you will. So inducing any sort of flex on the fore end, good luck. Like with all Manners stocks, you've got molded in colors. Why is that important? Because any sort of scratch, you're out there, you're competing, doing whatever. Literally, I'll overlay some video. If it were just painted on, guys, these paint colors would scratch and wear and what have you. But these molded in colors are protected. You can put this through years and years and years of abuse and you're not going to see any sort of wear and tear on the paint scheme. The rigidity, the stability, it's like any Manners. Guys, if you've ever picked up any other composite stock maker and put it in your shoulder, you feel the difference. I run Manners for over 10 years, and the reason I keep doing it is because literally to this day, I still have yet to pick up any other carbon fiber stock, put it in my shoulder. It just doesn't feel as stable, sturdy, like indestructible as that feel you get with a Manners. Fully carbon wrapped shell, just like all the other stuff, gives you, again, rigidity and strength in the stock. You get the rail adjustment on the left side so you can plug in your Sykes clutch, go to work. Now this is the new Impact round top action, but again with the new patent pending micro chassis, this should fit a large majority of actions with a Remington 700 footprint. And again, with the massive barrel channel, you should be able to run pretty much any kind of barrel you want, and it'll fit in here really well. It's also very forgiving if you do run a lighter weight profile barrel, because the balance point is so far forward over the bag. It's going to be very forgiving on a lighter weight profile barrel. So guys, all in all,